Good morning, everyone. My name is Fernox. And we're going to flee this cop scan real quick. Hello, friends. My name is Fernox. And very shortly, I'm expecting a raid from the wonderful Kaya, who I will shout out when that happens. Today we're doing a raid train, and I will get into exactly what is going on when the raid comes through. There, I need that though.
All your base, all your base belong to us. All your base.
There it is. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. My name is Fernox. I am. Thank you for the follow. I am the lead admin of the Direct Aid streaming project, and I am here today as part of our August raid train, organized by the wonderful Kaya. I'm pretty sure everyone currently here already follows her, but you should absolutely do that if you're not. One moment. But yeah, my name is Fernox. My pronouns are they, them, and I am the lead admin of the Direct Aid streaming project. Please let me go ahead and put out a disclaimer real quick for the stream. If my audio is not synced up right, if the game is too loud, if the music is too loud, if you can't hear me well, please let me know. I am working on a slightly different setup today than I normally do because my headphones gave out like 2 days ago. So I'm using a different set of headphones that don't have audio controls. So all of my internal hearing is messed up. I'm not sure how that's affected my audio setup. So if there's anything like that going on, let me know. But sounding like a broken record. I am the lead project coordinator of Four Cairns. Wow, holy shit. I've gone back in time for a second there. I'll explain what happened there in a moment. I am the lead admin of the Direct Aid streaming project. I'm the one who founded it, and what we're doing today is we're doing a raid train this week to raise whatever money we can for the vetted beneficiaries of the Direct Aid streaming project. You'll see that I have a goal and my Ko-Fi on my screen. I considered taking that down for today, but the truth of the matter is I am also a recipient, a vetted beneficiary of the Direct Aid streaming project. So Ko-Fi donations to me today will go toward the total that we've raised during this this raid train, but I'm also here to support our other beneficiaries, and there are some people that need help really, really bad. You can hit !DASP for a link to our Blue Sky, as well as the vetted beneficiary list, as well as I believe I've already forgotten what the commands are. 1 second, I'm about to pop out in front of a sun, so let me go. Let me handle this before I start poking around and finding things. Oh, this is the system I need to be in. Perfect. Commands for the day are donate or vetted to get another command in here with information about what's going on, as well as !AMA, where you may ask me questions, preferably about the Direct Aid streaming project. But if you just want to pop a question in the chat, that is also very welcome. If you have any questions about what we do, what our goals are, what our mission is, all of that is on the table. You're fine, Kaya. There's going to be several people during the train that I have to follow because I haven't gotten around to doing that before. I can also send out the tweet. Sorry, skeet. From the Direct Aid streaming project Blue Sky, telling us that we're over here now. So running from that wonderful list, the tiny URL DASP vetted list, there are 4 people that I would recommend. First and foremost, if you are in a position to donate and support the folks that we're trying to help this week, that would be Breyer and Knox, who themselves are living in hotels and raising upwards of $550 a week to try and stay housed in these hotels, because hotels love to just rake us over the coals and make it hard to survive. As well as Britt, who herself has been in a similar situation. I think themselves has also been in a very similar position, and has recently had a breakthrough where they're, I believe, under $200 away from being able to relocate to a safe place where they do not have to fundraise their total of $2,000+ a week in order to stay housed. So that would absolutely be incredibly helpful if we could help her get to that goal. And finally, my 4th recommendation would be Baraka, who is not participating in the raid train, I do not believe, but is herself a streamer. She is trans, and she is fundraising to relocate to Ireland, where she has a sponsorship to a college waiting for her, but she has to be out by, I think, August 20th, because her roommates have given her the ultimatum, and she is trying to get all of this sorted so that she can at least get out of that apartment and hopefully get to Dublin. These are just 5, including myself, of a good solid list of people who have been vetted. We know for a fact they're real people with real needs, who have sat with us and gone through the effort of making sure we have the information that we need to know that and to be able to help them through the services that we work through. And we're just asking you, if you have anything to spare during this week, to spare it for whomever you feel might be easiest for you to help. Now, all of that spiel underway, almost 10 minutes into the stream, I am playing Elite Dangerous, and what I'm going to do today is I am working through various tools that I have access to, and we are going to be delivering goods, commodities, from various places to systems and stars and communities out there in the stars that are in need of that stuff. So right now I am going to buy 1,000 tons of water, and I'm going to then take that to the star system Wolf 865. And Wolf 865 is currently under a drought, so they need a lot of water to make sure that their people are thank you, Katsu, are hydrated and that they can get over this unfortunate situation. You can see here on the galaxy map there is the drought state, and this exists so that I can know this system needs water, and so that is what we're going to do. It is a lot of water, but let's go look at that system again real quick. And let's see. So that yes, I'm taking over 1,000 tons, 1,000 units of water to this system. It is a system with a population of 24 million people. Now, of course, this isn't just going to be drinking water. Probably this is going to be water that sustains cooling systems for various space settlements, including the space starport that I'm taking it to, probably. But all in all, like, this is a situation where people are going thirsty. Potentially the places that they live in are suffering and not functioning correctly because they don't have this water. And so this is going to be 1,000 tons over in as part of like probably millions of tons of water that this star system needs in order to keep its people alive. Right? So like we're working on a grand scale kind of situation, and I'm flying one of the biggest ships in the game that can do this. So I have the capacity to deliver a whole lot of water. But what we might do is when I get there, I'll look at the mission board and see if there are missions that allow me to do this kind of thing instead of just going out, buying something, and then taking it somewhere. A moment to breathe. I feel like I've been talking nonstop for the past 10 minutes. So, again, this is the raid train, the Direct Aid Streaming Project raid train for the month of August. It was arranged by the wonderful Brat Dragon girlfriend here in the chat. And both today, as well as my shifts on the 3rd and the 5th, I will be answering questions about the Direct Aid Streaming Project. And maybe some questions mixed in from dorks that want to know things that are not that. Forgot that the questionnaire is meant for educating people about the project and our mission. Like Katsu with "Did you know I adore you?" And the answer is yes, I do. Thank you very much, twinsies. Katsu is a good friend and wonderful streamer himself, and deserves a follow, even if he isn't participating. And I forgot that I have to write Grandpa instead of just Katsu. Thank you, Twitch, for not knowing exactly what I'm meaning to say. Gosh. Anyway, let's actually send the command, shall we? But yeah, I'll be answering questions. If anyone has a question about what's going on, the raid train, the Direct Aid Streaming Project, what we do, how we do things, feel free to ask it. You can also find us in the Direct Aid Streaming Project Discord, where some of these questions may already be answered in our general information chats at the top of the server, which are publicly viewable. So if you are interested and want to see what we're up to, but don't necessarily want to jump headlong into being part of the community, you can get that information right away. I am talking so much. I feel like I haven't spoken in a while. So earlier during the initial spiel, I started to say I am the lead project coordinator of something. That was a flashback because that was not what I was intending to say. But fun fact about me is I have been streaming in one way or another since 2012, and I've not had the luck of being able to be consistent due to my own mental illness and physical health. I have been on the verge of, if not properly disabled, probably since then, so probably for 13 years. And thankfully through a lot of that time I was able to work a full-time job. That is not the case for me anymore, and so I'm right here in the trenches with a lot of the people we're trying to help right now, just trying to get by, right? But back in 2012, I started, back in around 2012, I started a community called the For Cairn's Sake. For Cairn's Sake initially started as a name for the group with which I was doing couch marathons on an annual basis. If you don't know what that is, that's going way back into the early days of charity live streaming. It is a term that basically means a group of friends are sitting on a couch streaming for 24 to 48 plus hours in order to raise money for charity. We were known as For Karen's Sake, and we did, I'm going to say 3 marathons. One was a Diablo 3, and was that Diablo 3? I guess it was. Diablo 3 and World of Warcraft marathon. I do not remember exactly who that was. I think that was for Child's Play charity, and I do not remember how much we raised. But the following 2 years, I worked with my best friend to play Castlevania Symphony of the Night and Castlevania Curse of Darkness, as well as Super Mario RPG and Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, 2 years in a row. And we raised at least $700 for the Able Gamers Foundation. Eventually, we were not really able to do couch marathons anymore, but I had the channel and I wanted to keep doing some good. So I started working with people online. One year when Markiplier, of all people, was in the hospital and unable to do his annual charity event, the Markiplier community on Tumblr, specifically the Marky artists, were chattering around on Tumblr like, what are we going to do? What can we do to do a charity event in his name since he's not able to do it himself? And I reached out and said, hey folks, I have some experience now organizing this kind of thing, and I have a channel that has done this stuff before where we can all stream. If anyone would like my help with that, I'd be happy to offer. And that snowballed into a week-long, what would now be considered similar to a raid train, but just person after person after person streaming on that channel for a solid week, to the point that I had to tell people to stop because I was beginning to worry about people's health. So if you've ever heard of For Karen's Sake, if you've ever heard me say lead project coordinator, that's what that's from. I have been live streaming for charity, or live streaming for myself, in some way or form since 2012. And I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be doing this. I'm happy to be working on the Direct Aid streaming project and working with Kaya and the other wonderful streamers who have decided to make this project, this raid train, something that they want to work on. Today is just day 1 of the Direct Aid streaming project raid train, and we're going to be going on all week for various spans of time. I realize I did not make a schedule command, so I do not have that immediately available, but in the DASP command, that is not how you spell that. My fingers don't want to work sometimes. You can find us on Blue Sky at the dasp.beesky.social, and there you will find various posts that have that schedule on them, so you can find out who's going on. I will be wrapping this raid right back around to Kaya in about an hour and 45 minutes, but until then we're going to do some good, both in the real world with streaming and here with this. So I've delivered my first initial load of water here, and we're going to find out. That's not where I wanted to go. We're going to find out if there's a good mission where we can source and return to help out this system with this drought. Most likely there is an unlimited supply of stuff that I can do to help with this. Wow, they're in an expansion state too. So there is like nothing I can do for that. Okay, so if I understand correctly, this is the only faction that is actually in the drought state. They also happen to be an expansion. What kind of? Okay, they're an independent democratic. They're an independent faction with a democratic government. So they're probably not screwing over their people for the sake of this expansion, but it does kind of suck that they're in a drought and there are no missions related to this. Feels too real. We're expanding our reach. We're not collecting water for people in need. No, why would we ever do that? Maybe we need to find a different system to help out then. We'll deliver a couple more loads of water, perhaps, and then, and then come back. Look for someone else to help. God, oh man, that feels like a slap in the face. That's too real. Holy shit. That is far too real. My gosh. Ugh. Alright, we're gonna go back to where we started and pick up some more water. And now that I have spieled long enough and shared a little bit about myself, perhaps we'll look at the AMA and address a few things while I'm flying. I actually feel like I'm talking too much. I actually feel like I am exhausting my oxygen. I need to slow down. I'm excited. I'm excited to be here and doing this. This is cool shit. It's reviving a lot of feelings in me from previous events many years ago at this rate. Let's lift off and get on the road then. Looking at the AMA, we only have one question. And that is from one of our beneficiaries, Lucy. Another person you might consider donating to if you have anything to spare. They are someone who is in need of help getting certain necessities, paying bills, getting some quality of life upgrades for their life in general, which I also can oh, I should have turned that off. That's fine. It still helps the cause in its own way. Lucy asks the question: if you had a giant robot, what would it look like? And my answer, quite simply, is Big Frog. Currently, perhaps, I would answer that question with, I would have a big frog. So I'm good. I got my giant robot. I'm fine. He's a big frog. I love the Panther Clipper. This is one of the newest ships in Elite Dangerous. Funnily enough, with one of the best pink paint jobs in the game, most recently added. I'll have to show you specifically that later. It is the biggest cargo ship in the game, and I could definitely see where they may have tried to make it look like an actual panther. Like there's some cat-like intention there, but it's definitely just a big frog. It is totally just a big frog. That is why I've named it Tom the Toad, and we will do something about that later. If you haven't heard it, I'm not going to spoil anything because I want to do this. It'd be really funny later to do this. But there is an old campfire song. I did not know it was a campfire song until I started looking into it recently again. But it was an old song. I think song at the campfire. There's videos of like Girl Scouts singing a version of this song, and I think my dad says it was from the Dr. Demento show, which Weird Al Yankovic was a part of at one point in time. It is called Tom the Toad, and it goes something along the lines of so stay tuned. We may do something silly to do with that song later. For those of you who might be interested, there are things I can say about the DirectAid streaming project that don't really require a question. As the founder, I know what our goals are a little better than some of the folks on the staff team might, just because everyone's busy, and this is my brainchild. So, this is the DirectAid streaming project, and the whole purpose of the DASP is really written right there in the name, right? We are a project to get more people streaming for DirectAid. That is directly raising funds for people who are in need, who may not have resources, may not have time to gather resources, and help them get their needs met that they're already working toward doing. If you don't know what online mutual aid is, it very, very often looks like random strangers on the internet saying, hey, I need money for this bill, or I need money for my insulin, or I need money for my car payment. And it's really easy to latch on to things that we have been taught, especially in America at the very least, for a very long time, of if somebody's asking for help, if somebody's putting their hand out, you slap it away. It's something a lot of us have been taught. It's something that is not uncommonly thought. And it makes it worse when it's the internet, where everyone has, even people who've grown up on the internet, even people who have been interacting with each other through the network of cables that is the internet for so long, that there's this underpinning thought of, oh, that person's not real. Oh, that person isn't telling me who they are. Oh, that person isn't who they seem to be, right? This is something that's just an underpinning of existing on the internet. And it's not true. And it hasn't been true for the majority of people for a very long time. Yes, there is safety concerns that one should always be taking with the internet. Don't share your real name. Don't share your address. Don't share, identifying information that can be used to find you. This is an inherent safety concern of the internet. But a lot of people still don't consider that people on the internet need help. And a lot of people don't understand that a lot of the people who are asking for help online aren't doing so as their first thought, right? The internet, going to the internet and saying, please, dear God, I'm going to lose my house if I don't get $1,000. That is just blatantly not something that someone does just because they can, right? Sometimes online community is the only option we have left. Exactly. But it almost never starts as the first place somebody goes. A lot of the time, somebody who is in crisis and finally comes to the internet to say, I need $1,000 in 3 days or I'm going to lose my home, has already been working for the past month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, years to get the resources they need together in order to meet this crisis before it becomes truly a crisis. And then it becomes a crisis and resources are still not there. People, family, friends, the government, their local community are not helping in ways that are going to meet the need, very often for the same reasons that we're raised on. If somebody's putting their hand out, you slap it away because they probably don't actually need what they're asking for. It's this blatant lie that we have been taught for decades, centuries, perhaps even within America, within various other places around the world. We get that picture of, if you give a beggar a coin, 20 other beggars are going to surround you. I mean, I can't deny that. If somebody sees you helping someone, they're going to hope that you can help them too. But the reality is these needs exist because people cling to these ideas. And help doesn't come. And then it gets worse. And then it gets worse. And then finally you see people saying, I am going to die of my diabetes because I can't afford to get insulin and I've rationed it to the point that it's not helping me anymore. Please give me $300 so I can buy more insulin. And what the Direct Aid Streaming Project is trying to do is to first and foremost debunk the lies, misinformation, and blatantly just bad opinions that keep people from helping each other. That is such a core aspect to what we do because it's so embedded in society that people who say they need help don't actually need help. And that is not and never has been the case. There's some people here and there, maybe 0.1% as my go-to math usually associates it, that might be lying about what they need. But the truth of the matter is 99.9% of people who have gone through crisis to the point that they're going online and begging strangers in a public forum for help have already exhausted every other resource they have. These are people who have already asked their family for help, already gotten some help from them, and now their family is saying, no, you need to figure this out on your own. These are people that have gone to their friends and say, hey, can I borrow $20 to get food for today because I literally just paid rent and I can't eat now, and have had to ask that question in one way or another so many times that their friends are now saying, no, I can't help you anymore. You need to figure this out on your own. These are people who have gone through the process once, twice, 3 times and are still being denied disability, who have asked their friends, who have asked their family, who have asked their government, who have asked their local community for help, and are being told, no, you don't qualify. You're going to have to figure this out on your own. Being poor, being in need, being disabled, being chronically ill, these things are very, very, very isolating because people get tired of you asking for help. People get tired of you not being able to meet your own needs because we've all been raised on the pull yourself up by your bootstraps thing, which is a fucking stupid, impossible lie. That is what online mutual aid is debunking these lies, debunking people's reasons for not helping each other, and bringing people together in community to get the help they need, to help each other get the help they need, and to convince other people who still haven't broken out of these habits these opinions, these lies, and spare some time even to just join the chorus, share some posts, talk about mutual aid, talk about helping people, and just make it easier for people who are in need of mutual aid to get the direct aid that they need to keep themselves housed, to keep their medicine on hand, to keep their car, phone, internet, these essential needs that are commoditized in such a way that it is impossible to exist in our modern day society without finding some way to pay ridiculous amounts of money to keep these things active. We don't need cars. Our cities should be built in such a way that we can walk to everything that we need. We shouldn't need to travel for an hour or 2 or 3 to 1 or 2 cities over in order to get to a Walmart. Food deserts shouldn't exist. A wonderful phrase, I cannot remember who I last saw say this or who I'm borrowing it from, is poverty is a policy decision. It is something that is chosen by those in power to create an underclass that those who are not yet part of that class, those who are not yet in poverty, can be threatened with, so that they can keep people working jobs that will not fulfill them, will not pay for their needs, and will simply continue to funnel money back into the hands of the people in power, right? No, Breyer, you did not miss your message because I deleted it. Because I'm not going to subject anyone else to that. And because it wasn't the subject of the AMA. You little bitch. I'm not going to subject anyone to that. It's bad enough that I had to deal with it. How dare you? Folks, Breyer is another wonderful member of the DASP community and a vetted beneficiary. One of the 4 people that I mentioned at the beginning of the stream who is facing homelessness and the daily risk of being unhoused, having to raise funds in order to stay housed in a hotel. So if you need a target for your donation today or this week during the Direct Aid Streaming Project Raid Train, I would recommend popping that DASP command and going to Breyer's entry on our vetted beneficiaries list, clicking their Ko-Fi, and donating a few dollars to help them stay housed. I'm a little mischievous in that because of the previous conversation. What we're doing today is we're raising awareness, at the very least, of the Direct Aid Streaming Project and of the impact that streamers can have in taking the steps needed to bring attention to the various crises going on around the world on an individual level. We are trying to debunk people's reasons for not sharing money with people that are in need, people that go online as their last resort and ask for help getting the money that they need to stay housed, stay medicated, keep their transport active, keep their phones active, their internet active. All of these things are essential to living. And that is one of the things that the Direct Aid Streaming Project is doing, is trying to debunk people's reasons for not donating to help other people survive. Another thing we're trying to do is to debunk the concept that within that part of our mission, that those who go online and ask for help are scammers. The reality is that mutual aid is one of the most difficult things to seek out online. It is very, very, very unlikely that you are going to run into somebody who is asking for help with their insulin, with their car, with their rent, whatever, that is lying to you. There are a few known examples. For one, there is a person that uses Blue Sky regularly to create botnets that will then automatically go and every few seconds at people who have used the mutual aid hashtag on Blue Sky to ask them for money, specifically, very often, for insulin. The reality is, in the 3 or 4 accounts that they make when they do this, there's one person behind it. They are very easily found out. They use a very similar form for their messages every time they do it. And by and large, the mutual aid community knows who they are. Or at least knows how to spot them. One person making maybe 3 or 4 accounts at a time before they all very, very quickly, I should say, get suspended. Out of thousands, at least, who are on that website, some of them who have made specific accounts because they know that they are risking their main account to do so, just to say, please help me. I need this much money by this much time in order to stay housed, to get my meds, to get this procedure that I need. You know, they're already spending all the money that they can on getting medical care, but now they need this much to even just get to a procedure that their doctor has already decided and approved of them getting, right? The reality is, scammers within mutual aid are very, 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 very rare. Because mutual aid is very, 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 very hard to get. It is very hard to get help going online and asking for it. Seeking mutual aid is practically a full-time job in which you have to learn how to do online marketing effectively, social media marketing, in order to reach the people you need to reach, to also then convince them to click on your links, and finally to actually spend money to help you. The DASP also helps in this. We, through the work of others within the community, specifically QYet Pause, who has written guides for both Blue Sky and Mastodon, we are aware of a lot of what normal people see as red flags from people that are trying to get help, and we advise people on how to make their posts so that they're going to get the most reach while not carrying those red flags. Things like posting "Don't ignore me" in a post, or putting your links 1 or 2 posts down below the post in which you're asking for help and beginning to explain your situation, right? Briar, like I said, is one of our vetted beneficiaries, and here they share what they go through. I have a mental disability, and I am boosting my need, boosting others' needs, and trying to survive past 11 a.m. every day. I am legit wiped. Like, need to lay down and close my eyes. Wiped. That is their daily struggle. Getting help is hard because of those previously mentioned stigmas and opinions and lies that we are taught by society in order solely to create an underclass so that workers have something to be threatened with so that they will work for lesser conditions. I haven't said the words, but that's how capitalism works. That is actually required by the economic system we know as capitalism. We're not going to have the power to overthrow capitalism anytime soon. We're living in it. And so we have to work in what ways we can to get the money we need under capitalism to the people that need it the most. And that is part of what the Direct Aid Streaming Project is doing, right? Finally, the primary goal, the reason for founding the Direct Aid Streaming Project is this. Besides debunking the reasons people don't donate, besides helping people get their needs met by convincing more people to help each other, we are trying to get streamers to do this work more often. There are so few of us. A great example is this very raid train, wherein Kaya, who is herself in need and one of the beneficiaries of this project, is streaming 8 hours today because we couldn't find enough people to prevent her having to do that are willing to sign up for a raid train like this, that in and of itself actively benefits streamers by associating them with a good cause, by moving communities from one place to another and building momentum and bringing follows to those accounts. Today's active shifts, there are 3 people streaming. Yeah, I am looking at it. I am looking at it. I'm so sorry, Kaya. Oh, I want to say again, folks, huge thanks to Kaya for arranging this. I've been trying to find the energy to put something like this together again since we did the holiday raid train. Kaya put a lot of effort into this and is working very hard to make sure it succeeds. So if you do not already follow Kaya, Brat Dragon Girlfriend, please consider doing so. She's working so hard to make ends meet and survive and learn how to do live 2D art and rigging, and try to be someone who can be helpful to the streaming community and also help everyone else and herself and absolutely deserves more of a break than she's getting, and will be running herself ragged over the course of this week. So absolutely give her all of your support. Absolutely consider donating to her as part of the raid train, because she is one of our vetted beneficiaries, and donations to her this week will also count toward what we are able to raise to help people. You will find that a lot of the people, even if a lot means mostly Kaya, participating in this raid train are beneficiaries of the DASP. We have a lot of people who need help within our community that are spending just as much time trying to get help for themselves as they are for others, like Briar, who runs themselves ragged every day, not just trying to get the help that they need, but trying to get others help as well. And Briar's going to turn that around and aim it right back at me. I know, because I do the same thing. The reality is that so many of us that need help know what it's like. We know what it takes, and we know our chances of not getting that help, right? And so we're not going to stop at just trying to get help for ourselves. It's not an I got mine situation, you know. I received a $2,000 donation at one point, and while that $2,000 donation helped us for a solid month, I didn't stop trying to help others. And unfortunately, that ran out because we could not continue to get the help that we needed to put ourselves in a situation where we didn't need that anymore. And now I'm right back here with everyone else trying to make ends meet and get everything situated. But the reality is there are so many people that need help. Our little group and the third of us maybe that are streamers cannot make this stuff happen by ourselves. But we can look at people, and this is not a call out. This is not me saying anything negative. And I want to talk about this person in a different light after I make this statement. But we see people like Iron Mouse who can inspire such a huge swath of the community of people that enjoy watching streamers and VTubers to raise over $1 million. I'm reasonably certain they're getting damn close to hitting 2 million probably soon dollars for the Immune Deficiency Foundation, which is an amazing cause, and I'm so happy that they can get that kind of money. But you know what? We could save thousands, if not millions, of people from immediate needs. Get them housed and in housing. Get their meds sorted out and get them in a situation where they don't have to worry about that again. If we can just get enough streamers and their communities to actually do direct mutual aid work, because there are a lot of charities that cannot meet us, and I'll say us this time, halfway or at all. There's a lot of charities, a lot of organizations that cannot help us in time, or that we will not qualify for, or that are restricted in one way or another in ways that they cannot help the people who need it the most. And I know for a fact that there are people that work for those organizations that agonize over that, right? Or have long waiting lists, again, because of limitations. They don't have enough money, maybe. Or, I think a lot of the times in like housing situations, they don't have enough housing because of greedy landlords and shit. Red tape, bureaucracy, yes, exactly. But Iron Mouse, who inspired such generous giving to such a wonderful charity, is right here with us. I mean, yeah, I could say that she's in a privileged position now, being probably one of the most successful streamers on the internet. That doesn't mean that she's not sick, that she does not have family members who are sick, that a lot of her money is not continuing to go towards her own medical journey, and trying to remain healthy enough to continue being successful. But it's hard to imagine being in the situations that we're in. It's hard not to imagine the amount of good someone with that much of a platform could do if they could turn that platform around and say, hey, let's help these 10 people. Okay, let's help these 10 people. Okay, let's help these 10 people. I love Iron Mouse. Iron Mouse is an amazing person. Her journey is a miracle. Born out of a desperation for friendship and an escape from isolation. And the vast amounts of support that she has gained since then. But no one who is in need can ever escape that feeling of why not me, right? I'm actually choking on snot and tears right now, because that is an inescapable thing. That is human nature, to feel, to see someone succeeding, to see a good thing be done when you're in need, and say, but why not me? The reality is that the streaming community, the flesh tubers, VTubers, however you go about it, when you start streaming, you create for yourself a platform, and you have a duty to that platform, the duty to the community that is going to gather around you, to make sure that you have integrity, that you make that place safe for people in need, for people who are suffering. And I think, personally, streamers have a responsibility to bring awareness to things like mutual aid, and things like people hurting and being in need. Because if nothing else, there's a lot of us who come from a situation like that, and need help, and will continue to need help. And a lot of the time, disabled people come to streaming because this is one thing out of many things that we can't do that we can. Sitting in front of a computer, in front of maybe a camera, talking to people, playing a video game, is one of the very, very, very few things that people can actually do when they are otherwise suffering from various ailments, chronic illness, depression, anxiety, autistic burnout, unregulated ADHD. Like, but we have tags on Twitch that call ourselves out just so that we can form community. And I'll tell you what, one of the most important things for mutual aid and for those that are in need is community. And when you start streaming, it doesn't matter what you do or who you are, what games you play, where you come from. You're going to form a community around what you do when you go live. It's inevitable. But people are still going to be outcast when they come to your community and find out that being honest about what they're dealing with, being honest about what they're suffering through, and that they need help, is one of those things that you don't allow. Yeah, it can get out of hand. Yeah, it can be hard to regulate, especially in a world that is literally on fire and so many people are suffering. But the reality is, in the same way that charitable organizations need streamers, mutual aid needs streamers. And by God, we need to fucking help each other. So to wrap this up and to get prepared to run an ad, the Direct Aid Streaming Project's mission is to bring more streamers into doing direct mutual aid work. Fundraising for mutual aid. Debunking debunking the concept that people seeking mutual aid are scammers. Debunking reasons why you shouldn't help your fellow man. And making spaces safe for people to be honest about what they're suffering through and say, hey, I need help. That's what we do. That is what the Direct Aid Streaming Project is for, and I am so thankful as the lead admin for everyone who is volunteering, is sharing mutual aid needs within our community, is here streaming in this raid train and organizing such things. Folks, I will read through the chat and address some of the things that have been said while I was kind of just ranting about everything in a moment after this ad. But thank you all for being here. Please consider using the DASP command to find out what's going on with the DASP, what we're doing, what we do. Find us on Blue Sky, find us on Discord, and find our vetted beneficiaries list where you can go and donate to raise money for someone who is potentially facing homelessness, in need of meds, in need of getting out of this country so that they can be safe. We would very, very much appreciate it. And thank you so much to those who are chatting. Thank you so much to those who are lurking. We will be back in about 3 minutes. I'm going to go cry and use the bathroom. We'll be right back.
Ensure you have received authorization before entering the docking bay. If you don't have access permission, please exit the facility immediately. If you're unable to complete docking procedures within your time slot, you'll need to exit the bay and resubmit a docking request. Unlawful behavior in and around the starport is not permitted. We thank commanders for their cooperation. This facility offers a range of services. Check your information panel after docking for more details. Unlawful
Folks, welcome back. I hope that the ads didn't cause you to suffer unduly. If you have any questions about the DASP, the Direct Aid Streaming Project, what we do, how we do things, feel free to ask. You can also find us at the DASP Discord, where some of these questions are already answered, and can be found in the public channels that we have listed. Briar, You say you forgot your question, but it equated to essentially body horror, and I'm not going to answer it because it was one of those things where you like remind somebody of an automatic body function and now they're suddenly very aware of it. And even just saying it that way is going to trigger somebody. You remember now. Now you understand why I deleted your question as soon as I saw it. Which wasn't about the DASP to begin with. It wasn't about the project. It was an off topic for the AMA. What am I doing? Am I selling? I think I'm selling. Oh. Silly doofus. Silly dork. Silly creature. I don't even know what you are. Plush? Alpaca? Plush alpaca? Oh. Folks, I have been very passionately speaking for the past hour, so if I suddenly crash or don't have a lot to say, I apologize. That's kind of why I put together the AMA list, the AMA form, and it has not worked out in my favor yet. I was hoping I would have more questions to talk about, but I'll have it for the 3rd and the 5th when I stream for the raid train again, so I'll be there. I'm not surprised. So why are you? Trying to badmouth me in the middle of a charity event. What the hell? No, I'm doing. So yeah, to boil down the last hour, my name is Faranox. I am the lead admin of the Direct Aid streaming project, and we are here today. And all of this week, or maybe not all back to back. We don't have a 24/7 stream going, but various spans of time throughout this week, we will be here doing this raid train in an effort to raise funds for our vetted beneficiaries. These are people who we have welcomed into our community. We have seen their needs. We have spoken to them and helped them ensure that they have information that we need set up. Specifically, we set up people with Ko-Fi accounts so that we can most easily ensure that they are not scammers, that they are real people with real needs asking for what they really need. And one moment. And make it easier for streamers who want to make sure that they are not exposing their community to potential bad actors, to be able to stream and raise money for people in need directly. We, as the Direct Aid streaming project community, staff, and beneficiaries, ask streamers simply to join us in raising money for people that need it now. People that are about to lose their housing, about to run out of medicine, need to get out of this country because of the hate and vitriol and genocide that is happening here in America. To raise money for the people of Gaza, the people of the Congo, the people of Ukraine. The world is literally on fire, and we're just asking streamers to help us help each other, to help the communities that have formed around you, to help your fellow man. Okay, let me address some of the things that have been said in chat because I have really not been paying attention. I've been monologuing for the past hour, and I need to actually look over what y'all have been saying. Oh, I was supposed to show you the paint job. Shit. I'll do that when we land. I want to show it to you because I'm sure you'll enjoy. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Yeah, mutual aid is a very, very difficult thing to do. You have to battle your own reasons for needing mutual aid to find the time and energy to even go online and ask for help, and then you have to also battle other people's stigmas and opinions and bullshit. In order to get that help, you have to make sure that you're not posting too often. You have to make sure that you're not using the wrong words in what you're posting in order to get help. You have to do things so that you don't look like a bot, because like, it's so hard to get mutual aid, and I keep saying there's so few scammers in mutual aid because there's more successful ways to scam people, like pretending to be an artist and trying to get people to go to the wrong PayPal is so much fucking easier than being like, I am a black, specifically with my voice, I am a black woman who needs insulin for my disabled child. Like, somebody out there has that very specific need and is real and honest about it, and they're going to spend 60 hours a day trying to get that need met and tear themselves and their body and their mind apart trying to get the help that they need. And no scammer is going to mimic that or spend that much time trying to get help when there are so many other fucking easier ways. Sorry. This is a topic that I'm not going to rant about. Continuing on. It takes a lot out of you. There's the cost, the physical and mental cost of going online and desperately trying to convince people that you're a real human being with a real honest need is so hard on your everything. It really, really, really is. Yeah, another reason why we are still, me and my family are still in trouble, is, the only members of my family in this house, besides our 2 cats and a dog, are myself and my father, Papa Shieldwolf, who will hopefully someday be able to stream. We do not currently have a second computer that can handle the load, but back in May, the plasma donation center that he regularly goes to had a machine malfunction that mixed too much blood with his plasma and did not put it back in his body. Because the way plasma donation works is they're effectively running your blood through a sieve, and which is still incorrect and simplified probably, but they're running your blood through a system that separates, basically running your blood actively through a centrifuge that separates your platelets and your plasma, and then puts your red blood cells back in your body and takes the plasma away. And the machine fouled up. It did not do that properly, and medically, because of that, he could not donate for 2 months. And the only person at fault for that is the place that he was donating to. And it really sucked. So it put us in a really, really bad position. But on the other hand of that, plasma donation is a great way to help people. Going back to Iron Mouse, it's one of the things that she champions so much because plasma donation has helped her. Plasma is something that she needs, and other people in immunodeficient situations sometimes need in order to help their bodies not get sick as often. To my understanding, I've not looked into this. I'm not an expert. I'm a stranger on the internet who doesn't know medical things. If you have the means to find a plasma donation center in your area, heavily consider doing so, because not only will your plasma go to help people that actively need it, especially people who are immunodeficient and have immune diseases, you get paid for that shit. And you can then take that money and donate it to a charitable cause, or donate it to the Hispanic family on the corner, or donate it to someone in need of housing online. That is such a great way to help people, because you literally get two different ways of helping people. You donate your plasma, and you then get money that you can donate. It's an incredibly efficient way to help people. Just understand that it is, in its own way, similar to donating blood. You will be in a lesser physical condition after doing so. You're better off than donating blood, but you do have to account for the fact that the day that you do that, you're going to be feeling sick, because your body has effectively run a marathon and is now trying to replenish that plasma. So, fair warning, but it is an incredibly good way to help people. Breyer earlier said, I've told Faradox this before, and the DASP in general. I've gotten more help boosting my needs from people I've known for years and Mod4 on Twitch than from people I've known for years and Mod4 on Twitch. Yeah, there are people who just do not understand that there's just such a huge, ridiculous stigma involved in helping people in need. It's so stupid. But it is one of those things that people in power have worked for centuries, to convince you that helping your neighbor is practically a sin. The sin of empathy, as it has recently been coined, is such an awful fucking thing. But it prevents a lot of people from offering help when it is such an easy thing to do in such certain ways, and it's ridiculous. Kaya said earlier, I can stream from my bed. It's real hard to find a job that's flexible and allows for work from home. Exactly. Streaming is one of the most accessible jobs someone can do, to be perfectly honest. There's always going to be some way to get the accommodation you need in order to stream that a company may not be able or may not be willing to provide you, even with various disabled laws that are supposed to help people get the help they need. Catching up. Their fault. God damn it. Bro, you could make the decision. You could make the decision not to be you. But I wouldn't ask that of you, because that's just not something you ask of people. Oh, hey, QQs. I did not know that you were in need of a fundraiser. And I'm so glad that got met. That's awesome. Congratulations. That's so cool. Okay. Now that I've caught up. Gosh, yeah, no, like this is one of those things where I'm never gonna stop having a lot to say about mutual aid, because I would not be here without mutual aid. I've gotten a lot of help even when I was working full time. The way my autism and ADHD that I didn't even recognize I had at the time really interfered with my one of my biggest struggles is what is known as executive dysfunction, right? And that most often, sorry, I've been talking so much it's starting to wear me down. This is why I'm streaming every other day during this raid train. And who knows? If needed, I may add more days. We'll see. I can at least add one more maybe. So we'll see how that goes, depending on how I feel with all of this. My executive dysfunction, though, most often, what is the word I'm looking for here? I guess shows itself, demonstrates as not showering or not brushing my teeth, right? Oh shit, that's right, you're KS! It's hard for me to remember that shit. I forgot. You gotta remind me of these things. Fuck. KS, congratulations on your fundraiser. Completed. KS is QQ is actually another one of our vetted beneficiaries, and I feel bad now. I forgot. You can't change the name. You should find out. There is a name change system. It has to do with contact me support. People are allowed name changes up to a certain point. Yeah. So you should absolutely contact support and see if you're up for a name change. Absolutely. Can you do it through settings? You don't have to contact support? That's awesome. Yeah, check that out. That is absolutely a thing you can do. As long as it's not already being used somewhere else on the site, you can absolutely change your name. I think it's maybe once a year or so. Yeah. What I would, honest to God, recommend is if you can't get it to work automatically, then contact support. There may be a flag that exists on your account from the old days or something, or like it's not properly set up. 6 months to a year. Thank you, Kaya. That's what I would do. Try again, just in your settings, and if it doesn't work, contact support and be like, "Hey, this is an old account. I'm trying to change my name, but it doesn't seem to be working." It's that kind of thing. God damn it! Congrats, KS. KS is actually another one of our vetted beneficiaries who is typically fundraising for their survival. When we say that somebody is fundraising for their survival, that typically means bills, rent, phone, internet, car, food, pet supplies, right? Making sure that the people in their household can be fed, watered, cool, and stay alive. So another like, no one that is on our beneficiaries list is someone that does not have an urgent need or is not struggling with being able to like feed themselves and stay housed, right? Like, my dad and I are very lucky that he gets his retirement Social Security stuff, and that is half of our rent and a lot of our food. But I still need to fundraise over $2,000 every month to try and make sure that we can get everything we need. We haven't done laundry in 2 months. I don't even have laundry soap, so I can't do it in the bathtub. We need to replace medicines and certain foods. Like, our protein supply is very low, and we need a lot of protein in this house. Just to survive. Very often I will go into like these protein droughts where I am desperately craving protein every day and I can't do anything about it. So like, when we say people are fundraising for their survival, that's what we're talking about, and that is honestly one of the biggest needs we're trying to meet. Obviously, when somebody is facing being unhoused and having to live outside in a car or something, that is more important. because being housed, even if you can't eat, is sometimes, very often, in fact, life and death, right? $5 to $20 can get people a meal that will last them a few days sometimes. Getting together $550 for a week's long stay at a hotel so that you don't have to then spend $1,000 instead just staying housed every day is a monumental task in mutual aid. It is incredibly, incredibly, incredibly difficult to do that. And that is just one of those things that we're trying to do as the Direct Aid Streaming Project, is get people to understand that this is happening everywhere all at once, all the time. Everywhere. What is the everywhere, everything, all at once or something? I don't remember what that movie title was. That was a good movie. It's hard. It's hard to get the help we need. People aren't just getting hundreds of thousands of dollars a month asking for help. People are spending full-time hours, as many as 2 to 3 jobs worth of hours every day, just asking for help and being either told no or ignored. Or helping others try to get that help. Like there's a huge community of people that are unfortunately bonded just by the need to get help and help each other. And all we're asking is for more people to join us in trying to help everyone get their needs met. And especially streamers who inherently have a platform where they can say things like, these are people we know for a fact are not scammers, who need help immediately, and as little as $5 can help push them towards getting that need met and surviving and living and being even marginally happy in a terrible situation. Oh, I need a breath. I need a breath for a minute. I'm gonna try. I'm backed up on my streaming archive, but I'm gonna try to get this and the previous stream archived as soon as I can, because I feel like I need this video to be accessible. I need to try to make like a supercut of some of the things I've said today, because like one of the things we want to do is actually have like a promo video that we can share during events like this, so that we can say, you know, I am so and so and I am a vetted beneficiary of the DASP. I have been helped in this way by these people, right? Like have a nice promo reel of folks that are able to say that kind of thing. Yeah, I know that feeling so much, KS. I know it so much. Shit. That's why I have a password manager. Mostly just because I can't remember my passwords for shit. I don't want to use the same one everywhere. Because that's a security concern. Oh, okay, folks. This is going to be the last trip I make to this station. What we've been doing in the game is... Sorry, I don't know why. I don't know why that tickles me so much, Kaya. What we've been doing in the game is buying water and selling it and bringing it to a system where they're in the middle of a drought. And yeah, the game mechanics, I'm making a profit in doing so, but the point being is by delivering water to this system, I am helping them get out of that drought state. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back one more time to the purchase system that I started this in, and I am going to then find a different system to deliver stuff to. In order to just make a different difference, right? So like I've been delivering water, so now I want to deliver something else to a system that isn't in drought, right? So right now here I have a system that is experiencing an outbreak. And what an outbreak is people are actually sick. People are actively sick, and it's a dictatorship though. People are actively sick and in need of medicine. So what I can do is go back to the system that I started in and buy basic medicines instead, and take those to this new system in order to help them treat the outbreak. It's unfortunate that that specific faction is a dictatorship, but I want to see your assets. Is there a single place at all? Okay, they're all in this system, and they're all ground bases. I love it. I mean, I hate ground bases. So I want to go to the station that actually needs it, which is any of the ground bases in that system. Okay, good. Good to know. Oh, shit! Before I get away from this station, let me do that. Thank you for reminding me. I get distracted. That's the ADHD. That is the ADHD right there. I got to get back close enough to actually be able to park. I want to show it to you because it's a cool thing. So the ship I'm flying is known as the Panther Clipper Mark II. And for those who do not know, Elite Dangerous is the 4th game, I think, in a series going as far back as 1985. I thought my ad counter was a lot closer to running another ad, and I got confused for a moment. And in one of those games was the original Panther Clipper, which was the largest cargo ship in the game. It was apparently so large it could not dock at stations at all. It actually had to have drones or shuttles ferry the cargo from the ship to the station, which is actually more of a thing that is met now by fleet carriers, where a fleet carrier can hold up to, like, I want to say 19,000 tons, but upwards of 15,000 tons of cargo, and then must be ferried from the carrier to wherever you're selling it. So the Panther Clipper Mark II is the newest ship in Elite Dangerous. It is currently available for real money. This is one of those, if it keeps you from killing yourself, it's a necessity kind of, poor people are allowed to have nice things purchased that I've made personally. There were a lot of creators really campaigning to be able to have their Pink Panther. And so there is, in fact, a pink paint job specifically for the Panther Clipper. It was called out and made, and it has a wonderful name too, specifically because of all of this whole campaign to make sure that people could have a Pink Panther. It's called Elusive Pink. We'll let that sit there for a moment. It's called Elusive Pink. It is absolutely a reference to the Pink Panther. So good stuff is to be had. I want to do something. I want to take a moment to take a break from all of this. Let me see if I can find a landable planet, because there's something stupid I want to do. Stupid and funny, and I absolutely want to make sure I get a clip of. I mean, I don't know that I've never watched the movie. I know of the cartoon and probably caught a few clips here and there, but it has been so long in my 37 years of life. I don't know. I don't know why it would be called Elusive Pink. I don't understand. That's fine. I don't need to. It's funny, and that's all that matters. Like what we're about to do. So I'm going to go to this planet here in the system. It's about 4 light seconds away. If you don't know, light seconds is like an astrological, nautical term for the distance between planets and stars in a solar system. Similar to light years, but much smaller. Sure, tell me. Why what's the deal with the Pink Panther that calling the color pattern the elusive pink is funny? I'm curious. I would love to know that. I'm going too fast. Loop of shame. Is it a loop of shame if I've done it before I pass the planet? Okay. What we're gonna do is something real stupid. I'm gonna land on this planet and I'm gonna do a funny. That's really what it comes down to. Was the diamond interesting? The elusive Pink Panther. How did it become a cartoon about wacky slapstick antics? I don't understand. That's not a big deal though. I'm gonna go land on this planet real quick. I hope it doesn't have like a huge amount of gravity. That would be horrible. I'm not talking because one, I've been talking for an hour and a half now and I'm getting tired, and two, I don't want to get too excited about this and spoil the stupid surprise. We're just gonna go right down to the surface of this planet. That flat area right there looks real good. I'm going to say this. Trigger warning to anyone who has an adverse reaction to the discussion of and topic of death of animals, especially frogs. I'm going to hit this. Oh, damn. That's okay. That's fine. Everything's fine. How much money do I need here for this? Okay, we're good. The trigger warning animal death for this stupid thing that I'm about to do. First of all, I need to be completely upside down. Second of all, I need to be completely against the ground. Perfect. Third, I need to deploy my landing gear. And fourth, I need to set my ship to self-destruct. And then... Did you hit a space squirrel? No, it's going to be funny. Oh no, I can't do it the way I wanted to! Fuck! Oh well. Oh, Tom the Toad, oh, Tom the Toad, why are you lying in the road? Oh, Tom the Toad, oh, Tom the Toad, why are you lying in the road? You did not see that car ahead, and now you're marked with tire treads. Oh, Tom the Toad, oh, Tom the Toad. Why are you lying in the road? I did that only because I wanted to. Only because I wanted to sing that song with this ship lying on the ground, upside down, on a planet. Now I'm going to have to go back there and show you the view from outside that I could not show you because I could not trigger the camera suite while I was self-destructing. But first and foremost, hold up. This is what the ship looks like. Gotta wait till I'm up and above here real quick. Did I hit a space squirrel? You're silly. I love it. This is what this ship looks like. It's a big frog. it's a big frog. When the moment I saw that, I was like, I have to name this thing Tom the Toad. I have to. Now imagine that, and I'm going to show it to you in a moment when I get to this planet again. Imagine that with it lying upside down on a planet with a red striped paint job. I've been waiting. I have been waiting for so long, trying to convince myself to stream again, just so that I could do that. Oh my god, this ship came out just over a week ago now. I've been waiting a week to convince myself to start to do another stream, just so that I could do that. And now I'm gonna clip it and make a big fucking deal about it. Okay, so if I ever want to do that again and get the proper visual for it, I have to have someone else recording it from the outside. I have to remember that now. Good shit. What am I doing? I know what I'm doing. I know why I wasn't moving. Oh my god. Nope, I'm going too fast again. No, I don't need to do a second loop of shame. God damn it. That poor ship. What I need to do now is do something similar, like go to a high gravity planet, flip upside down, and just let myself fall. The Kill Tom the Toad in Stupid Ways competition. That's fun. It's an amusing idea. So that is like an old campfire song, or it was something that was sung on the Dr. Demento show. Either way, my dad has sang that my whole life, and it is one of those songs that is just like ingrained into my soul, the way like Bohemian Rhapsody is, because he used to sing it to me like as a lullaby. So loop of shame. Yep. Hi. Hello, you. That's good to see you. We just sung Tom the Toad and blew up this ship because it's stupid and funny. and now I'm going to go back to this planet and park it the same way I had it when I self-destructed, because I couldn't start self-destruct and use the camera suite at the same time. But it's an old campfire song about this toad that's been run over. It's one of those things that is just like ingrained in my soul because of my dad, and the silly things he would sing to me. He's always been a joker, and we've mused in the past that instead of a pastor, he should have been a comedian. And just there's a lot of stuff like that in my childhood that that is that way because he sung stupid songs to me and loves to tell stupid jokes, like a phrase, "What's on your mind? Not here, number 6." Which is no context, but it's from a story he would always tell me. Okay, so now the silly part that I couldn't show everybody, and part of why I wanted to do this. Stupid, I love it. There we go. This is what it looked like as I was self-destructing. Why is this so funny to me? Oh, hello, Kobo Small. Hello, Kobo Small. I just positioned my ship like this a minute ago and blew it up. Thank you for the bit. Thank you for the bitty. Welcome, folks. This is a great moment and a great scene to do this with. My name is Faranox, and I am the lead admin of the Direct Aid streaming project. Today is the first day of a series of raid trains that we are doing over the course of August 1st through the 8th. I am the second position in today's raid train, and I will be raiding back to Brett Dragon Girlfriend, aka Kaya, in about 13 minutes. And we are just trying to raise awareness of this project, the Direct Aid streaming project, and what we do, and raise some funds for our vetted beneficiaries. We are not a registered charity, and we do not currently take direct donations to the project, but what we are doing is we vet people who are in need so that we can have the means of confirming that they are real people with honest needs, so that we can then have a list of beneficiaries of people who are in honest need, to give to streamers in our attempt to bring more streamers into doing direct aid work and raising money for mutual aid and directly benefiting people who are suffering homelessness, who are in need of medicines that they do not have a support network to help them get, people who are trying to relocate from hostile countries and governments into safe locations, or move from abusive households into safe homes, and stuff like that. Our primary goal is to get more people donating to mutual aid, to directly benefiting people who are in need, and getting more streamers to join us in this work and try to just help more people in a world that is on fire and designed to be that way. because when it comes down to it, the only people we have to help us are each other, because those in power desire to have an underclass that they can threaten workers with in order to convince them to work for lesser conditions. That is what the Direct Aid Streaming Project does, and what I have been doing over the past 2 hours or so is delivering goods in aid of a system that is in a drought state here in Elite Dangerous. If you're familiar with Elite Dangerous, you might know that that means that the system needs water, and getting water will get them out of that state. We were going to move on to a system in outbreak, which would mean it needs medicines, like basic medicines, agri medicines, advanced medicines, in order to treat the people in that system. It's all role play. It's all numbers and background simulation stuff, but it's fun to think about, and it's a good activity to be doing while fundraising, right? There's a lot of people out there that cannot get helped by charities and organizations, and we know that if the streaming community can rally around a cause like the Immunodeficiency Foundation and raise almost $2 million, almost $1 million overnight practically, for an organization like that, we can absolutely raise a few $1,000s here and there to get some people out of immediate crisis, and even potentially get people out of crisis entirely. The streaming community and streamers and the people that watch them are an incredibly powerful force in charitable work, and it is something that is close to my heart as somebody who has had to depend on mutual aid in order to survive before, who is disabled and unhireable, and in a situation where streaming is the only job I can do. And it's important work. There's simply put, there's a lot of people who have very shitty reasons for not helping their fellow man, and there's a lot of people who desperately need help from their fellow man that are just not getting it. So, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for lurking. Thank you for watching. Thank you for chatting. And if you can, please consider sparing what funds that you're able to the beneficiaries in our vetted beneficiary list. We do not have goals on screen for everyone. We do not have a central fundraiser that we can show you to show you how much good your donation does. If you donate to anyone other than me, yes, I am also a vetted beneficiary of the DASP, and it took me a long time to convince myself to even add myself to the list. If you donate to anyone other than me, I won't know it unless they go into our Discord in a channel that I've made for this event to tell us that. But hopefully at the end of this week, I'll be able to go on Blue Sky, and our own Draves will be able to go on Mastodon, and I will be able to go in the Discord, and I will be able to come on stream and say, hey, we've raised this much money this past week and helped these people in these ways. That is the goal of my stream today. That is the goal of this raid train. And even as I will be raiding into our own Brat Dragon girlfriend, aka Kaya, who herself organized this whole event and has done amazing good in making all of this happen, is in need herself, and will be streaming through a lot of this raid train. So I know I'm not doing something super exciting on stream. I've got a dead frog on my screen, just looking at it on this barren wasteland of a planet. But I'll be honest. This is a hell of a relatable scene. It's like I feel this so deeply. So please join us. Join us in hanging out and talking about mutual aid and talking about streaming in benefit of it, and sparing any funds you are able to do so, to help us help people that we know are real, honest people that have needs, from remaining housed to getting medicine to fleeing the country, to fleeing the country of the United States of America, to just basically feeding themselves and getting things that can help them be healthy and stay alive. I don't know. I don't have much else to say. I feel like over the past 2 hours I've said everything I can. So I will make sure today to try and get this VOD figured out and upload it on my YouTube so that I can take these things that I have said and make sure that people hear them. But I am asking you to stick around for the next few minutes and into the next 6 hours of the day so that we can continue this raid train and continue raising awareness for online mutual aid and for the Direct Aid Streaming Project. You can find other ways to help by joining us in the Direct Aid Streaming Project Discord, which I really need to make a specific command for. I need to make it so that my Discord command has this in it. But this is the DASP Discord, and it is has got some public channels that you can view to see what's going on with us and what our plans are and what our mission is and what we're trying to do with mutual aid and with streaming. Because when it comes down to it, what we're doing is just trying to help each other, help everyone we can, because there's only so much any individual can do in trying to get the help that they need and trying to help anyone else get that. And the most important part of that is community. And if we can just get a few more, 50 more, 100 more streamers that are willing to work towards making their communities a safe place to ask for help, and even more so are willing to actually fundraise for individuals in need of direct mutual aid, that's the dream. That's the miracle that we're aiming for. And that's it. That's what it comes down to, folks. I'm so fucking tired. I have literally been talking nonstop about this for 2 hours because it's a topic I'm very, very, very passionate about. And I hope that it has moved y'all's hearts. I know that a lot of the people who have been here today already are already part of the community of the Direct Aid Streaming Project. But I invite you to come and join us and see what we're up to and be a part of this community, because that's what it comes down to, is what we are, is a community of people that are just trying to help each other. I don't think I have anything else to say. I think I've spent all my words. So I'm going to start jumping back to the system that I am constructing in this game. You can actually claim a system and build it out into an economy, into a place that people who are displaced from a recent war are seeking out homes in. And while I'm doing this, while I'm flying back, we're going to go ahead and get ready to raid back into Kaya. Who will be playing Stardew this evening. So thank you all very much for joining me, for joining us, and please, 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 please stick around, hang out, and help us continue to raise awareness for this cause and what we're trying to do. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. I know I'm just repeating the same thing over and over again now. But it means a lot. It means so much to just be back in this. It means so much to be back here and doing things and talking about this stuff and feeling like I'm actually supporting a cause that I'm excited to do so, that I actually slipped up at the beginning of stream and called myself the lead project coordinator of For Karen's Sake again, and that I'm crying over that, because that just shows how meaningful being able to be a part of this event is to me. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Please give Kaya your love and continue to support mutual aid wherever you can.